it's Matt Brown, and we're going to take a look at Hendrix's Foxy Lady. And what I'm going to do with this one, it's kind of going to be just a lesson on Foxy Lady, but also kind of in the style of Jimi Hendrix type lesson. Okay, so let's rewind all the way back to the beginning and get for this one. So we're in standard tuning, and we're playing in the key of F sharp. Okay, so the first thing that happens at the beginning of the song is he's holding down a double stop. Those two notes. So those are at your 14th fret on your 3rd and 2nd strings, and you're implying like a little F sharp minor type sound here. Okay, so what you're going to do is just play the note, and to give it some sustain and to get some of the other strings vibrating, especially the first string, just give this some vibrato and just shake it for a while. So we've got that kind of sound, and the feedback will kind of come through in the first string the longer you hold it down. Okay, so that happens, you're holding that for almost a full 2 measures. The last beat of the 2nd measure, you're going to do a slide from roughly your 14th fret, and then we're going to go into the main riff. Okay, so the main riff, like a lot of Hendrix stuff, there's kind of a core basic version of it. And then what he's doing is playing some little fills and variations on it to keep the song more interesting, since this riff gets repeated a gazillion times. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to play through the first verse with the backing track, and then I'll break down some of the little fills and the riff in and of itself. So there it is. So the core riff itself, what we're going to do is we're playing out of 2nd position. So the first thing that we're going to do is play this F sharp twice. Alright, then our pinky is going to be playing a double stop on the 1st and 2nd strings. So that's going to be played with a dotted 8th and 16th type rhythm. So, alright, that's what we have so far. The next thing you're going to do is hit the higher octave of the F sharp, so the 4th fret of the 4th string, and then again you're going to have, so, alright, then into the next bar, pretty much the same thing repeats, except for the last 2 beats you're going to have something like this. So that's an open A to a B at the 2nd fret, and then strumming a B chord. So that B chord would be on your inner 4 strings, 2, 4, 4, 4 for the fret numbers. Okay, so over those last 2 beats is generally where you're going to get the fill happening. So let's take a look at some of the other fills that you're going to see. One fill that you might see at the end is, so in context, okay, let's check out some other ones. The next one, and these aren't in any kind of order, he's just throwing them in ad lib. So you might have this. Alright, so what he's doing there is doing the A to B, and then bending the 4th fret notes on your 3rd and 2nd string, up a half step, then back down. Alright, so that's another one you can use. Alright, let's check out some more. Okay, here's another fill. So that one's using your F sharp minor blues scale, and you're going. So that's 4th fret of your 5th string, 2nd of your 4th string, doing the flat 5 of the key on the 3rd fret of the 5th string, and then strumming the B chord. So, alright, there's one fill that happens towards the end of the verse here that kind of walks back to the root note of the riff. So let's check out that one as well. So that's a fill that he does during the verse and during the chorus. So this fill, what he's doing is, instead of on beat 4 just going, what he's doing is he's strumming the 4th fret note of the 4th string, the 3rd string is muted, and then again the pinky is barring these 2 high strings. And just so you know, this makes an F sharp 7 with a sharp 9 chord. So same chord as Purple Haze, but in a different key and a different voice. Okay, so again, you have, so then we're coming down to the E, and then doing a C sharp 4th fret down to the root again. So alright, so some other things, little slight variations you might have in the main riff is, instead of, you might have something like, and you might have the same thing on beat 4 too. So yeah, it's just kind of a matter of mixing and matching these various elements and putting in a different fill each time you play the riff. Okay, so let's move on and check out the chorus. So that's the chorus. As far as the chords are concerned, it's really simple. We're just going back and forth between an F sharp chord and an E chord. So the way he plays the F sharp is typically how he plays what would be a bar chord, but it's kind of his way of doing it. So the fingering, if you're not familiar, you're going to use the thumb to play the 6th string at the 2nd fret. The thumb is also muting the 5th string, and then your ring finger is playing the 4th fret. Then middle finger is playing the 3rd fret, first finger is playing the 2nd fret. So it should sound like that. The E is just being played as, you know, your tried and true big E chord. Okay, so the rhythm is improvised. So you have like this. So you could do kind of like 8th notes, and sometimes you want to do like a gallop figure, like the 8th followed by 2 16th notes. So same thing with the E chord. And the E chord, you only want to play for 2 beats, a total of 2 quarter notes, and then you're going to do some sort of fill at the end. So let's check out the fills in order here for the chorus to see what he does. Okay, so the first fill is this. So he's kind of mixing a few scales like B major pentatonic and F sharp minor pentatonic. So this, it's 4 on your 5th string, then 6, then you're going to play 4 on the 4th string, and then you're going to come down to 2nd position and do some hammer-ons out of the pentatonic scale. So that's 2 to 4 on both your 5th and 4th strings. So again, and in context. Alright, the next fill, I'll just play the beginning of the E chord again. So this one's kind of like a chromatic walk-up. So the fill is, so 2, 2, 2, 3. And then that's walking up. You're going to play the 5th of the chord on the downbeat of the next measure. So I'll play this measure with the fill into the next measure so you can see how that works. So in the next measure, he's playing again, kind of like in the verse, this, playing the 4 highest notes of the chord, then going to the root. Alright, so let's check out the last fill. So we're doing a hammer-on, 4, 6, then playing the 4th fret, doing a pull-off, 6 to 4, and then playing 6 on the 5th string. And then you're going to do an F sharp power chord, 2, 4, 4, and hold it for 2 beats. and then you get 2 beats of rest. The lick at the end of the chorus is this. So it's just an F sharp minor pentatonic lick. Doing a bend at 16 and then going to 14 on your 3rd string. And then you're going to bend the 14th fret again. And then you're going to do a little bar here. So that's 14 on your 2nd string to the 3rd string. And so this is outlining your F sharp minor chord, kind of like we did at the very beginning of the song. Okay, so that takes care of the first, or the intro, the first verse, and the first chorus. I'm going to play the 2nd verse so you can see what's going on, but I've already explained, what you need to do. Basically what you're going to see is just some slight variations and some slightly different fills. Okay, so let's check that out. So now we're to the 2nd chorus. The 2nd chorus is interesting. What he's doing is kind of playing the chords up an octave higher from where he played them before. So our F sharp chord, now he's just doing F sharp 5 power chord. So that's the 5th string root, and he's doing 9, 11, 11. Same kind of rhythm. Now what he's doing over the E chord is this. So what he's doing is hammering on into a first inversion version of this E chord. That chord would be fretted on your inner 4 strings, 11, 9, 9, 9. So that would be an E/G sharp chord. And what he's doing is he's actually barring all the way across the 9th fret on the inner 4 strings, so he can do a hammer onto that. Alright, then the little fill between the E chord and the F sharp chord is. So that's playing on your 6th string, 7th fret, to the 6th fret of your 5th string. And then back to the F sharp. This time what you're doing is hammering on with the 3rd finger in this F sharp power chord. So. Then again, we're going to do the same idea with the E/G sharp. The fill here is, so we're going to do a hammer on. You can do a slide too. I couldn't tell what it was on the recording. So 7 to 9, and then playing 7 on the 5th string. And then 9, 7 again. Alright, at this point we're going to come down and play the F sharp down here. Alright, so the fill here is pretty similar to some of the ones in the first chorus. Is the first bit, so that's 4, 6, 4. And then he's grabbing, I guess, the 6th fret and 4th fret. So you get a little bit of a double stop sound there. Pulling off to the 6th fret there. And then strumming the F sharp chord. Alright, so this is going to lead into a guitar solo this time instead of back into another verse. The solo is played over the verse riff though. Okay, so something that we haven't talked about yet is the little background stuff that happens during the verses. It's kind of like the overdub guitar. So let's check out some of that. So essentially what this guitar is doing for the most part is playing some double stops. And some trills. So the double stops that are being played, you can either play 14-14 on your 4th and 3rd strings, or 14-14 on your 3rd and 2nd strings. And you're basically implying a tiny part of the F sharp 7, sharp 9. then typically doing trills between 16 and 14 on your 4th string, and you can do little pentatonic things like something like that. So it's, you know, it's just improvised, and feel free to get creative, but what you don't want to do is step on the vocals with these little background fills. Alright, let's check out the guitar solo. Alright, so I'll do the solo now at about 3/4 speed. Alright, so as far as scales and everything that he's using, mainly F sharp minor pentatonic. There are some chromatic notes like the leading tone, the 15th fret, or the 7th of the scale. He does like to use the 9th a lot in his pentatonic solo, so the 9th or the 2, so that would be adding basically a G sharp note into the solo, which you can add here, the 14th, or sorry, the 16th fret of your 6th string. Same thing with the 16th fret of your 1st string. So mainly F sharp minor pentatonic with a few additions. Okay, so we've covered everything that happens in this song now. Basically, we just have more verses and choruses in that to go through. So the ending of the song, let's talk about that real quick. So the song closes out with the main riff, and I'll just play like the last 4 or 5 measures of it here, so you can get a feel for how this goes. Alright, so what we have is we're going to play on the last, I guess it's the second to last measure, our F sharp chord. So we're going to play that 1 and 2 and 3. And then on the end of 3, we're going to switch to a B chord. So that's just inner 4 strings, 2, 4, 4, 4. And then that just holds out for fermata, or the little circle with the dot. So that does it for all of Hendrix's Foxy Lady. If you have any questions about this one, let me know. If you'd like the tabs, my transcription of this, also let me know. Just email me and I'll send it back to you. And please subscribe and check out my other social media channels. Alright, thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate you checking out this lesson, and I'll see you around for more.